Hello, welcome to my live stream. And so I'm going to, in this session, I'm going to talk about the power of PowerClip in CorelDRAW. So stay tuned. I'm just going to wait for a few minutes here. I'm just waiting for some participants, and I'll continue the live stream. Okay. So now, the power of PowerClip. So PowerClip is one of my favorite my favorite feature or effects in CorelDRAW, and PowerClip has a lot of uses. So I've got some examples. I've got photos here that we're going to apply some PowerClip, and I'm going to explain briefly, or I'm going to explain how I use PowerClip in these photographs. So here's a situation. For example, here I've got this photograph, and I want to say, for example, I want to make a nice frame, like a shaped frame. For example, I'm going to just watch here. So for example, I'm going to put a rectangle like that. Okay. And then, for example, I want the radius corners here. So I'm going to go to my shape tool, and I'm just going to shape it like that, right? Now I'm going to power clip this. I'm going to put this one inside the shape that I made. So I just click on the photograph, and I go to Object, Power Clip, place it inside the frame, and the frame is this one here, right? This is the one that I just did. So you click on that. Sorry, you have to really click onto the rectangle, and then it goes in, right? So that's one use of PowerClip, is that if you want to frame your photograph into like shapes. Another example is, for example, I'm going to create an ellipse like that, and then I'll power clip this inside that ellipse. So I go Objects, Power Clip, place inside the frame, and I choose the frame, which is the shape, the ellipse, and it goes in. Now, what are the advantages of Power Clip? One of the advantages of Power Clip is, once you create a shape and you power clipped the photograph and put it inside that shape, and now this shape is a vector shape. So if you go to View and click on Wireframe, you'll notice it's a vector. It's not JPEG. It's not a bitmap anymore, which is good, because then you can apply some outline. So for example, here I want to apply outline on this photograph, which is already power clipped. I just pick a thickness here, which is 10 width. I can also change the color of the outline, and then click OK here, and that's it, right? And then you can still change the color of the outline by going to the color swatches here, and then just right mouse click on the colors. Then you can change the outline. So basically, PowerClip is really flexible. It's really useful in framing a photograph. Now I'm going to show another use for PowerClip. I'm just going to get the same image, or maybe I'll just use another one. Let's say I'm going to use this image here, and I'm going to make it smaller. So another use for PowerClip is is masking, right? So for example, I want to mask this image here, masking or removing the outline. Sorry, removing the background. That's also useful. Probably I would just change this this photograph, because that's a lot of masking to do. Uh, Maybe I'm going to go into the birds, which is page 7, I think. Okay, this one here. So for example, I want to remove the background of this bird. I can use PowerClip here by using the Bezier tool. So the Bezier tool is the one that you're gonna use to create shapes. So I'm gonna zoom in here, and I'm just going to quickly create shapes here. It's just basically, it's just like tracing the photograph, and then once you click on one point and then you drag it, and then you can reshape the object, I mean the shape. So what I'll do here, I'm just gonna go on quickly here so that I can go on explain more on the PowerClip. And my suggestion too, if you're, say for example, you're tracing this because you want to power clip this or remove the background, make sure to go inside. I'm really zooming in here. You don't go like this, okay? Because if you zoom out, the background is, the background will be included, okay? It's best to, I'm just gonna undo this, to go inside a little bit, okay? Like that. And I'm just gonna go really fast here. So removing background in a photograph is really useful, especially if you want to change the background or you want to isolate one picture to the background. Okay. Again, I'll just do this quickly. Okay, I didn't realize there's a lot of reshaping here. Okay, so hey, here's for example here, I click here and then drag, right? So that's useful. Click and then drag. Okay, so don't worry about this because you can still reshape that later. And I'm going to show you how to do that. For right now, I'm just gonna go quickly. Click here, click. We're gonna go back to that one later. Okay, click. Or what you can do, you can just ignore those ones, and then you can, because you can always go back to that. Okay. Here, here, here. I shouldn't choose this photograph, but anyway, that's live. I'm doing it live right now, so I'll just try my best. Okay. If you notice, I'm really going fast, and I know I have got some imperfection here, but I will show you how to fix that later. Okay, I'm almost done here. Okay, here, here, and there. Okay. So now you notice I've skipped some mistakes here, but say for example here, I want to reshape that, right? So you have to go to your shape tool and then click on this one here and then make it a curve. Okay, convert to curve. Because once you convert to curve, then you can reshape it like that. Okay, so example here, click here and then go convert to curves and then go like that. Okay, I also have some mistake here. So what I do, I click on that, right? And then you can actually drag these arrows like that. Okay, but you notice once I drag the arrow, okay, this one will also move. So to avoid that, you select that node, and then you go to cusp node. So to create a sharp angle in the curve by connecting the node to cusp node, and then you just have to go like this. Okay. So now what I'll do, I'm gonna click on this image, right? And I go Object, PowerClip, place inside the frame, and the frame is obviously the shape that I just did, and click, and now the background disappears. Okay. Now don't forget, because this has an outline, don't forget to remove the outline by going here to the icons and then right mouse click, so that disappears. Then with this one, what you can do, you can put it in a different background. So I'm just going to I'm just going to insert, say for example, this one here, import, because since this is a vector image, I'll put this to front of page, and now you can put it anywhere you want. Okay. You can also duplicate that. I just duplicated it and then move it like that. You can reshape it, and yeah, so that's another use for that, right? So now let's go to page 3 here. Okay, so for example, this one for Honda. So PowerClip can also be the shape or the text can also use PowerClip here. So for example here, so the best thing to do here is to put this to back of the page or to back of this Honda, right? So you go to Object, Order, to back of page. Okay. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to enlarge this like that, and I'm going to show the car. Okay. So since this is a vector image, it's a text, right? So what you can do, you can click on this, which is the image, the background image, and then you can go to Object, PowerClip, place inside the frame. And what is the frame? My frame is the text. So click the Honda text and it goes in, right? Now the advantage here is now you can add, like I said, you can add outlines. So for example here, I'm gonna put a thick outline, say 16. I'll make it maybe blue like that. Click OK. I'm gonna click behind fill and scale with object. That's normally what I do, behind fill, so that the outline will go outside of the text, and scale with object, so that when I scale this down, it will follow the 16. It will follow the scale of the outline. Click OK there, and I have that. So now with this one, I can do a lot of things. I can change the outline if I'm not happy with it, and I can also what I can do, I can also put a drop shadow like that. Okay. Or what else can I do here? I can also put a reflection. I'm gonna duplicate this, so go to Edit, Duplicate. So I've got 2 here, but this one here, I'm gonna bring it down. Click here, and then bring it down like that. Okay, so I kind of like mirror it down, and I'm just going to connect that there, and then put this behind. So Objects, Order, to back of page. And then what I'll do, see if I go, because I want to make a reflection, so if I go to my transparency and then I click and drag, see what happens? The outline made it transparent, see, but not the image. So the best thing to do is change this first to a bitmap, convert to bitmap, and make sure transparency background is turned on, and then you click on OK here. So since it's a bitmap, then you can do transparency. So there's really a lot of uses for PowerClip. I'm gonna exaggerate there. Okay, see, I did this very quickly because of the use of PowerClip. Okay, now let's go to page 4 here. Okay, so for example here, what I'm gonna do is I'm going to put a random lines like that, random lines like this, another random line, say here to there, and then here to there. Okay, maybe one more here to, maybe just like that, right? Now I'm gonna combine the PowerClip with the Smart Fill tool. So if you go to Smart Fill, just one second, I'm just gonna read the chat here. Okay, so I'm going to click on the Smart Fill tool, and I'm just going to fill this. Okay, I'm gonna fill that because those are the shapes that I did. Just gonna do that quickly here, and then what I'll do, I'm going to delete these lines here. Okay. Okay, so what I'm going to do here, I'm going to select all of this, right, except for the picture. So how do I get the picture underneath here? So hold down your Alt key in your keyboard, click until you get the JPEG, right? Well, here, how do I know that this is the JPEG? Because here in the status bar, it says here the JPEG, right? So what I'll do, I'm going to put this, I'm gonna put this to front first. So I go to Objects, go to Order, to Front of Page, right? So now what I'll do here, I'm gonna move this over here first, outside, okay? And then I'm going to combine this, all the shapes here. I'm gonna combine it, so click on Combine. So that's combined already. So what I'll do now, I'm going to PowerClip this to this one here. Now it's difficult to go like this because it's the exact dimension. So what I do, I just put it on the side here, and I go to Objects, PowerClip, place inside the frame. Since these objects are already combined, I can just click anywhere here, and it goes inside, right? But it doesn't look right? But you can still edit the PowerClip by going to Objects. You can go PowerClip, edit PowerClip, and now you can move this to the right spot. Now it's also best to enlarge it a little bit like that, and then now you can go to Objects again, PowerClip, and finish editing this level. Okay, so now what can we do here? So we can apply outline. Say for example, I want to apply white outline here. So I go here to my outline, which is black right now. I'm just gonna double click that to open the outline pen dialog, and I can make that white. So I'm gonna make that white, and I'm going to make the pixels thicker, say 25, and then I click OK. See, that's too thick, right? So I'm gonna go back here, and then I'll go to maybe 16 and click OK. I think that's all right. So now you have an effect of kind of like a collage, right? So now what will happen if I click this one and I go to Objects and then break PowerClip apart? So if we're gonna break the PowerClip apart, now what happened here is now I can move this, Okay, and that could be another effect that I can also rotate. Okay, so that's another use of PowerClip. Now I'm gonna go to page 5 here. So for example here, if you notice that if you look at this football player here, you really don't know if this is the foreground because these two guys here has the same sharpness with him, right? Now if you look at photographs, like for example here, this is blurry than this one here. So what you can do, you can isolate him and make this as a blurry part area of the photograph. So you can use PowerClip for that. So go to Bezier Tool, and again I can quickly, shape it like this. Now you don't need to make it really perfect, because what we're going to do is we're just going to blur the background. Okay, go like that. Okay, and then I have to go to my starting point. Okay, you have to wait for that arrow to show up before you close it. And then what you do, if you want to check if there's no open nodes here, you just color it like that. Okay, we'll color that for now. So now we're ready to do a PowerClip, but before that we have to duplicate this without an offset. So plus sign in your keyboard, okay, or you can go edit, duplicate, or make sure you don't have the offset, so it's two photographs, exactly the same photograph on top of each other. So for me, I'm gonna use the plus sign in the keyboard. Okay, one sec here, I'm gonna click that plus sign, and then while that's still selected, I'm gonna go to Object, PowerClip, Place inside the frame, and the frame is this one here and there. You won't notice the difference except for the outline here. So you have to remove the outline by right mouse click on this one here, and now you are ready to, so if you bring him outside, so he's isolated, right? That's a good thing, so that you could do whatever you want to the background. So for example, the background here, I'm going to blur it some more so that he will be the foreground. So I'll go to bitmap, convert to bitmap. Oh, sorry, not convert to bitmap, it's already a bitmap. So you go to blur, click on Gaussian blur, and then you apply more of the blur. And you notice right now his image is now in the foreground. So click OK here. So if you compare him, I'm gonna get the original photograph here. So this is the original photograph. I'm gonna make that bigger. Now if you compare these two, this is more the focus here and not the background. Okay. There's another technique too, or effect, that I saw somewhere in a magazine wherein they want to show that this is kind of like a cutout, right? So what you can do, since this is already vector outline, you can make the outline white. Okay, actually we have to fix this, because here's what happened, because this shape that I did, I made it gray. So you have to remove the fill here by going to the X sign here, or no fill. So that is no fill. So I'm gonna make that no fill too. And what I'll do here is I'm going to put an outline, a white outline. Make that white, and I'll click OK. Okay. See that? So that's, I saw one effect. It's like this one here, and there was like a drop shadow. Let's see, I'm gonna put drop shadow here. So it's like his photograph is lifted from the, I guess it's not really, you can't really see the difference. Well, what you can do, you can move him a bit to the left or to the right, like that. Okay, but the problem here is you can see this one, and which is really distracting. So what you can do, you can click that and then go to objects, object, and then break the drop shadow. So what happened here is the drop shadow is not connected to the PowerClip, right? I'm gonna go undo here. So this is a good thing, so that I can go to your shape tool. So you can go to your shape tool and then move this. Oops, sorry, this is not, sorry. Because that's a drop shadow, right? I want to make sure that's the drop shadow. Yes, that's a drop shadow. First, you have to make it a bitmap. So click on bitmap, convert to bitmap, and then make sure the transparent background is turned on, and click OK. And then now you can click on your shape tool, and then you can hide the drop shadow like that. There. So that's better. You can even, to exaggerate it, you can even rotate it a little bit like that. So something like that. So let's go to page 6 here. Okay, we already did that. Page 7. So here, what else can we do here in the okay. So for this one here, let's make an effect here. So let's say I'm gonna make a grid, right? So I'm going to make a grid here. So I'm gonna go to, or I'm gonna make just thinking what other effects can we do. Not table, but we'll go to any suggestions? Any suggestions? People who are watching? Using the PowerClip here. Okay, so maybe I saw also another one, which is they created a grid here. Let's go to the grids here. Where is that grid? The grid is under where is it under? Sorry, I forgot where it is. I'm looking for the grids, which is, it's not really graphing paper. Table, not the table. It looks like it's not here in the Homes and Student Edition. But anyway, we can just create a rectangle like this, right? And or a triangle, and I'm gonna snap it here, and then I'm going to duplicate that and move it here, and then duplicate that again there. Okay, so anyway, okay, so Chris Stephenson, he's saying about how about an effect to make him look like he's stepping out of the background photo. Okay, okay, let's do that one. So I think first what we're gonna do is we're going to I'm gonna create a rectangle like that, and then what I'm gonna do is I'm going to make a border here so that he's like stepping out of the image. Okay, so what I'll do here is the rectangle. I'm going to go make a contour going inside, which is this one, inside contour, and then I'm going to go, this is the distance, right, the pixel distance. Okay, say for example like that, and then now I'm going to break this apart, right? So I'm going to go to object, break contour apart. Why? Because I'm going to select these two and I'm going to combine these two rectangles, and this is the combine tool, and I'm going to make that white, and I'm going to remove the outline. Because see, here's what I'm planning to do. I'm going to create a perspective here. So click on effect and add perspective. And I'm going to move this like that. Okay. And then what I'll do, I'm going to cut him out so that he would look like he's going out of the picture. Okay. So first of all, I'm going to duplicate this without an offset, plus sign your keyboard, and then and then what I'll do, I'm going to actually, you know what, I'm not gonna duplicate that. I'm gonna use the same thing. So here I'm gonna go to shape tool, and then because the shape tool, when you click on the shape tool in a photograph, you can go like this. Because what I'll do, I'm gonna go inside like that. I'm just gonna try this like that. Okay, and then I'm going to make a rectangle, make it black. Let's see this one. Okay, I'm doing this live, so I'm trying my best not to make a mistake here. So I click on transparency just to make it, or maybe down like that. Okay, sorry. Okay, let's try this one. I've got transparency like that. Okay, but now I'm gonna power clip this one. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my Bezier tool. So I'm gonna start here. Again, I'm just going to do this really quickly because I don't want to consume a lot of time. But if I'm going to do this really well, I have to really define the shape. But right now I'm just gonna trace this one because the main topic is PowerClip. Okay. PowerClip. I use PowerClip a lot. Maybe when I'm doing graphics or designing a brochure or a poster, I don't think I miss the PowerClip thing because I really always use it for anything, even for cropping. PowerClip can also be a cropping tool. Okay, so what I'll do here, since this is white, right? So what I'll do, I'm just going to go like that, okay? And I'm gonna go half of his body. Okay. Okay. By the way, thank you for the people who are watching me. And I just want to make clear that I'm doing this for you guys. And like I said before, I've got a full-time job. I'm just doing this in my spare time so that I can help the viewers learn more about CorelDRAW. And my only request is that after this video, if you can like my video or subscribe or even share my videos to your friends so that I have more audience. And I just wish I have more audience so that I'll have more subscribers too. Okay, so I'm almost done here. Okay. Okay, so now what I'll do, I'm going to duplicate this. Okay, the image, plus sign your keyboard, and I'm going to power clip this now to the shape, right? But before doing that, I have to select this, hold down shift and select this shape here, and then also the outer shape, because I have to combine that. So click on combine. Okay, so now it's a combined object. If I fill that with, okay, so what I'll do, I'll fill it first, and then later on I'm going to remove the fill and the outline just to make it clear to you. So I'll click this image here, which is the running man image, but we duplicated that, remember? So now I'm going to go to object, power clip, place inside the frame, and I'm going to click this one here. Okay, so it's there, right? Because since I duplicated, I still have one more behind it. Okay, so now this one, you notice it has an outline. We don't want the outline, so right mouse click on the X sign here for no fill or no outline. Okay, now I still have this in the in here, right? So what I'll do, I'm going to go to my shape tool. I'm gonna move this over, bring it down, and this one down, and there you go. There you go. So yeah, so you can, maybe I could just make that bigger. Or you can even cast shadows here. The only thing, the shadow is already here. But yeah, you can probably make a shadow here. So I'm gonna go to my Bezier tool. Let's say you want to cast a shadow here of him running. So what I'll do, I don't know, maybe I'm just gonna experiment here. Again, this is live. I'm just demonstrating how you can be creative here. Okay, so I'll make that black. Okay, obviously it doesn't look right? But there's potential in here. Okay, so what I'll do here, that's a vector image. What I'll do, I'm gonna go to bitmap and convert to bitmap, and I'll go to grayscale. Okay, make sure that your transparent background is turned on, and I'm gonna click OK. So now what I can do here, before doing anything else, I'm gonna blur it because I'm not happy with these sharp edges. So I click on blur, maybe some more, like really blur it. And if you notice that, maybe just like that. Let's just try this one. Click OK here. Okay, so now it still doesn't look right because it's not transparent, but that's easy to fix because you can always go to transparency tool and you can click and drag. See that? There. Isn't that amazing? I love transparency. There. But since it's an object, right? Yeah, I mean, since it's a separate object, you can actually drag that, right? So that's a shadow. And then if you're not happy with the position, you can click there and then rotate, right? And then you can change the location. There. Let's look at it from far here. What do you think? Oh, thanks, Susie. Yeah, so that's another way. Oh, I didn't realize it's already 40 minutes. But anyway, those are the things that just gonna review here. PowerClip. These are the review. Gonna review what are the uses. You can create a border. Advantage here is you can change the color of the border, and then here you PowerClip text onto an image. And what we did here is we made a reflection. So number 4 here, what we did is we put random shapes and then combine it and then PowerClip inside. But now these are separate objects now, which you can also use for puzzle. You can create a puzzle for that one. So this one here, what we did is what did we do? Oh yeah, we blurred the background here some more. I lost the cutout there, but anyway, so 6 here. So what we did in the 6, just gonna move that there, is we isolated these birds here. Okay, and then you can also duplicate that. And then here in 7, which was requested by Chris, is how do you make a picture kind of stand out? You know, like it's like popping out. So this is one way, but I know there's a lot of ways, but this is one of the ways. I also want to let you know that, say for example here, when you, even though you PowerClip this, put it inside, you can still edit that. You know, say for example you want say for example you want to move the car more to the left, you can still do that. So you click on the object or text, you know, and then you go to object and then PowerClip, and there are options here, right? But what I need is edit PowerClip. So when you click on edit PowerClip, so you notice that, see this blue lines here? That's the shape of the letter, right? So like I said, I want to move this over here some more. So I will just move it like that. And then go back to object and PowerClip and then finish edit this level. And you notice now the position changed. Okay. So anyway, it's 43 minutes of live streaming. I want to ask the people who are watching, if you have any questions, any clarification on what I did, please do chat. Any comments, any feedback. Okay, so Susie's saying exactly, oh, sorry, no. We are almost don't need a Photoshop. Okay, so Chris is saying, so we are almost don't need Photoshop nor photo paint, lol. Okay, so my comment on that one is I'm trying to mimic Photoshop effects here, but yes, you can do stuff without Photoshop 100%. But when you buy CorelDRAW, see, there's a really big advantage when you're buying CorelDRAW, because when you buy CorelDRAW Suite, you have photo paint included, right? But what I'm proving here is that You can do a lot of things in CorelDRAW alone, even not going to Photoshop or in Photo Paint, right? There's lots of advantages, and there's also actually disadvantage in using PowerClip. Here's an example. If you really go to not like this one is fine, that one's fine too. But let's say, for example, I think when I did the bird here, if you really zoom in CorelDRAW, you can't really feather this. If you notice, it's kind of sharp, right? It's sharp. And what if you want to feather? You know what I mean? Like feather, it's like, it's not too sharp when you cut out, because like this one, it really looks like a cutout, right? So you have to think about that too, okay? CorelDRAW cannot really soften this edge because again, it's a vector image, right? It's a vector program. And if you go to view and then click on simple wireframe, see, that's a vector, right? So what I'm saying, it's not perfect, but we can actually mimic Photo Paint here. Yeah, so any other questions? So if you don't have any question, thank you for attending this live stream. And again, I would appreciate if you like my video, subscribe, or share my live streaming. And then I'll be live streaming again tomorrow, same time. And yeah, I would probably have a different topic tomorrow. I can't tell the topic, I can't mention the topic yet because I'm still thinking about it, what kind of topic, but I'll just surprise you, okay? But guaranteed is that I'm going to just show you more of the CorelDRAW features, and these features are, you know, I discovered, or maybe you read about it, or maybe saw it somewhere else, and I'm willing to share it to you. Okay, so thank you very much for attending again, and I will see you tomorrow.